Hey guys, today there was a patch that came out for quite a few updates for Battlegrounds, and I'm just gonna go over them real quick and predict what might be the most impactful changes. So to start off, we have quite a few armor changes. We'll start off with the heroes getting more armor. AFK now has 18, Galewing 14, George 13, Illidan 14, Annie 15, but only at higher ranks, no changes at lower ranks. I do kind of wish they would mention what the old numbers were. Draxus has 18 at higher ranks and 7 at lower, so huge disparity between MMR. Not so good at high MMR, but very, very good at low MMR. And then we have Maleficent at 14 armor, and no changes at the lower ranks. Nixia has 14, Patches has 14, no changes at low ranks, again, because it's not that good at higher ranks. Future Sight has 14, Rakanish has 18, Finley has 10, Tavish has 15, 10 at lower ranks, Jailer has 15, and Millhouse has been increased to 10. And then going with the nerfs, Rakan is now down to 12, Enhanced Meccano 8, ETC 10, Kurtrus 12, Maiev 9, only at higher ranks, Panda or Master Nguyen at 12, Queen Wogtoggle at 10, Scabs at 10, Silas at 10, Skycrab Crag at 11, Sneed at 12, Rat King, Zephyrs at 10, and Millhouse at 6. But it seems like Millhouse got less armor at higher ranks, but more at lower, which makes sense because it's a hard hero to play. So I think the most impactful changes here will probably be Innie being significantly higher armor and Lord Draxus at higher ranks, making it more playable. I also think Galewing is kind of huge. That hero used to be one of the best ones in the game, but then Buddies came out and his Buddy is a little underpowered. So this one's pretty welcome. And I think the other really strong one is Finley. Now you're not as doomed if you find a choice where you only can choose between low tier buddies, and yeah, it helps a lot just because if you do miss, you're not screwed over by the tier 4 buddy and the lower armor. And then in terms of nerfs, I think Millhouse is the big one. This might be the lowest armor I've seen on any of the heroes so far. Another one that I'm kind of surprised at is Sneed. Sneed I know had 20 armor before, because I would pick it just for the armor. And yeah, it's a pretty big change. And going on with the buddies, quite a few buddies got buffed. Shinvala's got buffed to a tier 3. I like this because Shinvala had a little bit of trouble getting into his really powerful late game, so an earlier buddy just helping win some of the fights earlier on is a huge deal. Alex Trauza's buddy got buffed from tier 4 to tier 3. Now Alex Trauza hasn't really been played lately, and I think it's mostly just because dragons themselves haven't been a very strong tribe for a while, so this is pretty welcome to see Alex see some more play. But I'm also a little bit worried about Alex being too strong, because when you're on tier 6, this just gives you Caligos guaranteed. So the power is really, really strong if you have Bran. You can just get 4 Caligoses when you get your second round of buddies if you have Bran. ETC got a huge buff on this buddy. It's now a tier 3. Honestly, this buddy was kind of hard to use, and a lot of the power of ETC before wasn't really dependent on the buddy. It was more just that the hero power was really strong. But this is good. I mean, ETC kind of had its time being really, really strong, and then it was weak. This will probably put it back in the middle somewhere. Lady Vash's got buffed from a tier 2 to a tier 1 with some health reduction and some attack reduction. But the stats don't really matter. Just getting this early is a huge deal. I always thought Lady Vosh is kind of strong in my games, but now I'll be sure to even pick her more. And then we have Innie's buddy. Innie's buddy got buffed from tier 5 to tier 4. I think the stats are exactly the same. And this, along with the armor change in higher MMR, means that I'll probably want to pick her a lot more too. I think she's super strong with the free mechs. Sneed got a little bit of a buff from tier 3 to tier 2. Stats the same, but as we saw above, the armor did get nerfed. So I think overall part of the hero got it probably got nerfed a little bit. There's also a change below where it significantly reduces the change of Sneed's power. And one cool buff for Putricide's buddy is taking Abomination got removed. This was the tier 1 5/5 where it had Death Rattle deal 5 damage to all of your friendly minions. So now you don't have to sell this off just to be safe against that griefing you. And then here's the nurse. This is the one that I was waiting for a long time this time around. I think Mutanus has been the strongest hero in the game for a while, and now it's been nerfed to have lower stats and also be a tier 4 rather than a tier 3. I still think the hero is just really strong in general, but it'll be a lot more likely to die if you go for the standard greedy line where you just try to make really big buddies for the second round. And then Hooktusk got a nerf as well. I thought Hooktusk was the second best hero, and now the buddy's a tier 5 and a tier 4. I still think the hero is going to be insanely strong, just because the late game is really, really tough to beat. But yeah, it's just nice that they're still going to be strong, because I enjoy the heroes, but not as much of a problem as before. Kurtrus got a little bit of a nerf too, just the tier going up higher, but a little bit of a stat increase to compensate. And I haven't really played much of this hero, so I don't have that much to comment about. And another nerf on Togwoggle. Interesting enough though, the armor didn't really get increased, or decreased. And I've always kind of found that the buddy doesn't really matter that much in terms of the timing of it. Like, you usually want to wait until turn 7 or turn 8 anyways to use the first buddy. And yeah, I mean, this being increased to tier 5 isn't really that big of a deal. So I still think this hero is really strong. And then Sire got a little bit of nerf, just saying that the quest is more difficult to complete. And then going on to the minion updates, Dr. Boombox got a huge nerf to be a Tavern tier 5. This is really important for the game because I think it was like way too easy to find Boombox on 4. And you would basically always pick it up because it's such a strong minion. Like, the 7 attack usually kills something, and then the Death Rattle kills off 2 things. And then it builds into really powerful endgame builds. But now you'll have to be on tier 5 or triple into it, which should make it a lot harder to build around. And then yeah, that's it for the Battlegrounds changes. If you like these sort of videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment if you have any suggestions.